Hi, you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me this time. I don't know what was going on with that last video. Um, so we're, I guess I'll just start with the way I have this. I'll try to start with the way I have this video set up. So Joseline, because I don't really have much to say on so Joseline's situation. I think I said it all the last time I talked about this. It's the media is reporting that she's been hit with a $25 million lawsuit. I'm not sure if Zeus is also a part of this lawsuit or not. Zeus Network. She went on her Instagram, I believe, or Twitter, and went on this whole rant and posted pictures about she did, in fact, beat these women up and that they signed contracts giving her the right to beat them up, which, like I said in my video, I've never heard of that. And even if you try to put that in the contract, I don't think that will stand anywhere. Like, and who would sign up for you to beat them up like that, send them to the hospital? And so a lot of people were, wondering if they're even going to show any of that on this reunion. And to my understanding, the preview for the reunion is going to drop today or tonight or whatever. Um, Listen, you know that guy is going to cut all of that out. So you guys can run over there and watch it, or or not. I don't know, but yeah, I don't. I think he has a little bit more sense than that to air that. I don't think that he's going to air that unless it did not happen the way that the girls are saying that it happened. But I don't think they're going to air all of that. I think that they're going to cut out certain things that went on at a certain point at that reunion. And once all the drama or whatever starts, no one's going to see that. Okay. They're going to cover themselves as much as possible, even though Joseline kind of already confirmed what the girls were saying by saying, yeah, we did beat them up. Right. So, and, once you put stuff out here on social media, it's out here. So those things are going to be presented in court against her, and the stuff that she may have went live and said as well. I think that she was suspended on one of those accounts. I can't recall now if it was Instagram or Twitter, but anyway, let me know what you guys think about that story in the comments. I just thought, you know, yeah, I could see the lawsuits coming because no one's going to give you permission to beat them up like that. Number one, it's one thing to I guess if people are signing up for these fight clubs or whatever they're calling it, like, first of all, her show is not even supposed to be about that, to my understanding. It's about her putting together a cabaret and presenting it in Vegas or wherever the show is. I don't know. But for her show to turn into a fight club, that is something that you do need to say to people up front. Like, look, you might get slapped. Look, you might have to slap somebody. Right. And like I said, if I'm going to give somebody permission to hit me, then I'm going to most certainly have permission to hit them back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and protect myself and however I feel I see fit to do that. So I don't understand where that comes in, that she thinks that she can have someone sign a contract to allow her and her boyfriend to beat people up. That it just don't make sense. No part of the day, no part of the week, okay, or the year. But let me know what you guys think about that story. So yeah, that's supposed to preview tonight. But like I said, people can go run it over there if they want to. I don't think that fight is going to be in there. None of it. I think that guy has more sense than that to air that. Um, then the other stories that are out here. I guess the other quick story I could just touch on. I don't even know if I'm going to go back over all the stuff that I was saying before when I thought I was already doing this video. This fashion writer, Louis Pisano, is that his name? I don't even have his name in front of me, but he is retracting his story. The story that he, I guess, put out here to these blogs saying that Rihanna and Rocky had party ways because he had an affair with her shoe designer. And the shoe designer, of course, came out once she probably saw the stories. People were running to her page. And she said that the story was not true. To my understanding, from the breakdown I was reading, she knew Rocky before she knew Rihanna. They had worked together on a project, and I guess Rihanna then wanted to work with her for her brand, for Fenty. Um, and so she is her shoe designer now. So they have a friendship. And one of the Caribbean outlets, and this is on Twitter. I don't have the video to show you guys, but you can go to Twitter and see the video. They're showing Rocky and Rihanna arriving in Barbados, I guess yesterday or whatever, whenever. But so they're still together, in other words. I guess that's where I'm going with that. They are still together. Um, that footage is out there, like I said, on Twitter. And then the writer came back and he submitted a statement on his Instagram. I guess I can read it. I don't. I'll go on and read it. Hi all. So I like to address the situation. Last night I made a dumb decision to tweet some information I had received. I'm not going to talk about sources, blame others for a discussion that was started, etc. Because at the end of the day, I made the decision to draft that tweet, press send, and put that out there with my name on it. So I'd like to formally apologize to all parties involved with my actions and for my reckless tweet. I fully accept the consequences of my actions for my tweets and for any harm they caused. I have no excuse for it. I've been way too wrapped up in Twitter drama and unfortunately leaned into being messy as a brand, which is something going forward I'm going to move away from. I'm going to take some time away from Twitter to figure out what that looks like and how I can start using my platforms better. I've gotten away from using them for more positive work. Again, I apologize to them and for the unnecessary drama. So he ain't getting caught up in the world of Twitter and all the nonsense that goes on Twitter. And so he decided to run with this story from what he claims was a source. And from the write up that I was reading, he was saying that the source is someone close to either the shoe designer, I think her name is Amadi, or someone close to Rihanna or Rocky. So who's to say, like, if you didn't fact check that before you hit send on that, then you didn't know that that story was true or not, right? So I don't know, but he is retracting what he said, as you guys can hear. Um, and Rocky and Rihanna have been spotted together in Barbados. So they are still together. The other story that I wanted to touch on was DaBaby, who has a dark cloud over him, obviously, because he's always in the middle of something and it is never about music. That's one thing I would say about these artists today. They always in the middle of something, but it's not about whatever their art is, that's for sure. But so someone was at his house, I guess, that he didn't know, or he's claiming he doesn't know, and he had to he pulled his firearm on the person. So I'm gonna let you guys listen to the 911 call. It was released recently and through TMZ, and I will come back. Hello, County 911. It's shot him in his leg. I have got him passing on my property. Yeah. Sir, what did you do? I shot him in his leg. Okay. And why did you do that? He's trespassing on my property, calling me by my name. I don't know what he did for, what he had to take, what he had to do, but he shot me with it. He neutralizes you guys here. Sir, are you with him now? He's right here in front of me. Okay. Is he awake? Well, I'm looking at my property. Sir, is he awake? Yeah. Yeah. And is he breathing? Yeah. He's shot. Okay. Yeah. Just stay alive, okay? Okay, yeah. Sir, is there any serious bleeding?
said yes, bro. Okay. Is he completely alert? Is he what? Is he completely alert? Do you hear him? Do you not hear this man, bro? Sir, I'm asking you, is he completely alert? Yeah, I can't hear you repeating every question that you're asking because he's over here screaming. So like, y'all just get somebody here. And get them thudding when they pull up and try to hit the sirens or something so I can know to open the gate. Alright, is there more than one room, please? Say what? Is there more than one? All I see is one individual. I don't know if you got somebody with him. I don't know. You have no way of knowing it. But in order for him to get here, he has to jump over a fence and everything. I'm gonna need you to secure your firearm, sir. Sir. It's secure. Sir. It's secure. I told you it's secure. I'm not putting it down with this trespass right on my property. I'm not doing it.
So yeah, so I hope you guys can hear it. I didn't do that. TMZ did that, or whoever posted this from TMZ changed the tone of the voices and stuff. But I can kind of pretty much make out what they were trying to say. And some people were saying that he was nasty to the operator, but, considering the situation, maybe if he really didn't know the person and that person was like walking up on up on you, how would you feel about it, right? So you kind of have to put yourself in people's positions. Like, I would be upset too, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I wouldn't be. I would probably have been a little frustrated as well. And I can understand her position because that's her job, and they have to follow protocol in asking those questions. And so it's not to upset anyone or whatever. She just has to do her job that way. Um, so yeah, I don't know why the man was there. I don't think he ever came out and DaBaby ever came out and really spoke on this situation, to my understanding. Um, I think he may have tweeted or something that somebody was there and he didn't know the person. He didn't know why the person was there. And he also didn't like she asked him, was somebody else there with him? He said he didn't know. So that's another part of it too. Like, you don't know what's really the situation at hand. You don't know what's really going on. How many people were out there? Maybe once he didn't come back, they probably would have came rushing in. Who's to say if there was other people with him? So yeah, I do understand his position on that. Like, you can't really say that he had an attitude. He was right. He had a right to be frustrated and being put in that situation. But he seems to have a dark cloud over him. He's always in the middle of something, and violence is always a part of it. It seems. Let me know what you guys think about that story and the story about Thandiwe as well getting released for Magic Mike. Did I talk about that yet? Maybe let me go into that. So it came out that she was released. They had got into Channing and Danny had got into a big heated debate over the Will Smith and Chris Rock slap situation, right? Because everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their opinion if it was right or wrong for him to slap, which we all know that it was wrong for him to go up there and do that. No one's saying that he was not wrong. Even Will has acknowledged that. But then people will go off into, their righteousness and all that other stuff. And then you find out they're not. But anyway, so I guess I don't know what the argument was about. The people that were on set said it was in fact that caused the friction between them. They got into an argument over Chris and over Will, and then they could not move past their feelings towards each other and whatever their opinions were. And so it caused problems for them there on set. And she was released because he is the star of the movie. The movie is centered around him, so he cannot be replaced. She could be replaced. And she was replaced with Selma Hayek. Then this story came out yesterday that after that story broke, and I put that in my community tab. After that story broke, her PR people tried to come out and say no, she wasn't released over that. She was released over a family emergency. But then the people that were on the movie set told Daily Mail and some other media outlets that it was in fact over that argument because they could not get back. They could not respect each other beyond their feelings in that debate. And so they can't, it was just uncomfortable for them to work together. So that's why she was replaced. Um, and then yesterday on Daily Mail, they were saying that she and her husband are also at odds and that they are filing for a divorce. They've been married for a long time. Now, I know back when I covered that whole thing when she was talking about, she was the chosen one to black women, right? She's chosen or whatever. She started saying, she has all the men. And I'm like, I wonder how her husband feels about that. So maybe she was already having issues with her husband. That's why she kind of said that, right? You really have to hear people, listen to the stuff that people are saying. And sometimes you can hear some stuff, right? Because I was, that's kind of disrespectful for you to even say anything like that, knowing you have a husband at home. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, her and her husband have filed for divorce, and then the whole situation with Channing, and they're saying that she is checking herself into rehab right now because of everything that's going on. Um, and maybe that has something to do with her in the whole "I'm chosen" speech as well. Who's to say? But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that story in the comments. People getting into arguments over Will and Chris. Like, yeah, it should never be that serious. At least that's what I think. So the other story that I wanted to touch on was this whole Rory audio that was a video. I'm going to play it for you guys right now, and then I'll come back. Rory from Rory and Mel, they were a part of the Joe Budden podcast, and now they have their own podcast as well, and they're also here on YouTube. But I'm going to play his audio about Trey Songz.
In 15 years, however the fuck long it's going to be, that Trey Songz doc is going to be crazier than the R. Kelly one. Trey Songz is the most nasty, abusive, rapey, beats the shit out of women. Like, he is the scum of the fucking earth. Trey Songz is fucking disgusting. Like, his doc is going to surpass, if you ever thought you could surpass an R. Kelly doc, I promise you in 15 years, Trey Songz, his doc will. He's an awful human being. Like a terrible, terrible fucking human being.
Santa Claus.
And somebody is going to knock him the fuck out.
It sounds like you know who that somebody is, quite. Yeah.
This isn't one story. This is personal that I know with, I'm not even exaggerating, close to 15 to 20 women, all with the exact same experience that I know not to be liars at all. Trey Songz was cleared. What is Rory talking about? His charges were cleared. I'm not talking about the charges that he was charged with. It's not what I'm talking about. I have no idea who the fuck charged him for that shit. I'm talking about my personal experience with women that I know personally. He's a awful human being. But I didn't mean to go on that tangent. If I get one more Trey.
So Rory is saying that if, and let me put this out here, Rob, before I even get going. All of this is allegedly. Trey Songz has, to my understanding, he has some people that are still trying to seek cases against him. I guess those situations are under investigation. Okay. Now, Rory is saying that if there is ever a Trey Songz documentary put together, that it's going to surpass R. Kelly's documentary. I don't know how that's possible. Now, all of this is allegedly. Let me say that again. This is what I thought about just kind of listening to him, because people started asking him in his comments, well, the charges were dropped. First of all, one of the charges were dropped because there's several. There's people in Los Angeles, there's people in Miami, and there's still Dylan Gonzalez in Las Vegas. Now, there was someone else in Las Vegas, and to my understanding, that was dropped. And this is what I thought about, you guys. I'm starting to wonder, because we're starting to see this a lot with a lot of these guys, if some of this stuff is fake that's getting just kind of put out here, making up like, oh, people are trying to charge them with this. They're going to cover up to make all of it look fake, right? You guys get what I'm saying? because we never see these people. We never see the people that are pressing these charges again. And this is all allegedly. This is just my theory. I'm not saying that it's true. I don't know. I'm just saying it's kind of odd how we keep hearing about people pressing charges against this and that other person. And I'm not even going to go into any names. And some other people, though, that we keep hearing these stories about as well, other than Trey Songz, and then nothing ever comes from it, right? And I understand we saw that a lot with R. Kelly as well, but a lot of times, a lot of that R. Kelly stuff, faces was put with those stories. Now, that stuff wasn't just put out there. The faces were there with a lot of the stuff over the years that we heard about R. Kelly. But for whatever reason, we're not getting the faces, we're not getting the stories behind some of this stuff that's getting put out there, and then all of a sudden it disappears because it wasn't real, right? Um, and so you have to wonder, well, is it not real? Is it not real? And maybe they're just trying to make all of it look unreal, because by saying people are making up things, and now everybody think everybody's making up things, But Dylan is saying she's not backing down, that she still wants to press charges. And I think her situation is under investigation. There's someone in Miami from this Puffy party. Her situation is still under investigation, to my understanding. And I believe there's a person in Los Angeles. And so what he said is that it's so many women saying these things about Trey Songz that there will probably, the documentary probably will blow everybody's mind, because it's just going to be so much stuff being put out there. Um, I don't know, and all of it is allegedly, because we don't even know if, just because these women are saying these things, that they have things to back it up. Do they have evidence to prove that they know Trey Songz, that they were even in his company um, whenever they're saying that these things happened? And it's kind of like somebody, one of them, it was either him or the other person, presented like some text messages from the girl saying the opposite of what she was saying after the fact. But then we saw that happen with Bill Cosby as well. Some of these women continue to carry on relationships with Bill Cosby, even after they said that he attacked them, right? And so that part, I don't know. Like, if y'all believe all these women with Bill Cosby, then we should believe these women as well, right? Like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, because some of those women, like a couple of those women, carried on. Even the Constance lady, she carried on a relationship with Bill Cosby for years, and he was paying her millions and millions of dollars um, for several years as well. And then she carried on a friendship with him, you know, and but she claims that she was attacked well before all of the time that she was spending with him and the money she was taking from him. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe in any of this. There are women who have already been on Twitter saying Trey Songz have done things to them. So some of them do have faces. Some of this stuff, they don't have faces with it. So we don't know what's real and what's not. Even if they have a face with it, we don't know if it's real, right? So I don't know what to think about all of that. I don't know why Rory put this out there, unless there is a documentary, or maybe somebody's trying to shop a documentary and he's aware of it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comments. Yeah, I just think that this is something that people should not be playing with. It's not something for people to try to profit off of, turn it into some type of way of getting money off of something like this, because there are real situations out here, and then it makes it harder for other people to really feel comfortable coming forward with real situations, because of all the drama and nonsense that people are creating around things that's probably not real. So I don't know. I don't know what's true, what's not. You guys can let me know what you think about him coming out, putting that out there, because regardless of if he put it out or not, because I think the lady that you see in the video, maybe she put it out there. He still is the one saying it, so you still kind of put it out there. Okay, so how do you feel about him doing that? Do you think there's any truth to what he's saying? I mean, we don't know. It's just impossible for us to know, right? Let me know what you guys think about all these stories in the comments. And if you guys plan on watching Versus tonight, Mary, BB and CC Winans. I think it comes on at 5 or 6, depending on where you are. It's probably later on the East Coast. Well, maybe it's later here. I don't know. And earlier on the East Coast. Let me know what you guys think, and if you guys plan on watching Versus tonight. I think they're going to do the Versus in California and Erica's church. I think she said this is a new building for her and her husband, Warren. I'm looking forward to watching it. I definitely always enjoy BB and CC Winans, and so it's going to be nice to see them and nice to see them get honored. Let me know what you guys think about all of these stories and Versus tonight, and I'll see you guys in the next video.